CentralValleyTalk.com.
All right, welcome back to the Central Valley Buzz. I'm your host, Chuck Leonard. Can I hear it for Glenn Delpit? Woo! Oh, my gosh. If you boys and girls are nice, he'll come back later on the show and play another song for you. Now, this Obamacare thing, I've heard so many things, good and bad, about it. And obviously the internet site was a major bad. So let's go ahead and bring in Lisa Acosta. And she has Shop Coverage's Insurance Solutions. Let's bring her in. Let's talk to her about that.
Hey.
Joy, how are you?
Doing well. How are you?
Good. Now, tell us what's going on here. Because there's so many people out there that are so confused about this Obamacare. What's going on?
What's going on is all that's advertised is basically the internet. You know, hitting the website, calling the 800 number, and very little is being said about contacting your local insurance agent. And there's many of us that are certified to sell within the exchange and outside of the exchange. And that's the message we need to get to folks out there today.
Well, I think a lot of people think that because there's, talks of fines and stuff like that,
Right.
that they have to go through the website to, one, get a good deal and be taken care of, and two, like that, a lot of people think that's the only way they can do it.
That's true, but it's not. And one of the great things about the Affordable Care Act, it doesn't matter where you obtain your insurance, whether it's online, 800 number, or through a certified agent, the price is the same. So it doesn't matter who you go through, you're not going to pay any more to actually talk to a live person.
So how does this work with the Obamacare? What's with the fine? I don't get it.
Well, if you don't sign up by March 31st, there will be a $95 fine for individuals and $285 for families.
For the year?
For 2014, yes.
Okay.
And in many cases, what I'm finding as I'm signing folks up is you can actually obtain health insurance for your family less than the $285 a year. I just signed a family up this past week that was $12 a month premium for five children.
What? What kind of insurance is that?
Yeah, it was through Blue Shield.
No kidding.
No kidding.
And what kind of coverage do they get for that?
It was actually the Silver Enhanced, which would be, you have metallic coverages. So you have the bronze, the silver, the gold, and platinum. And so each one will cover a different percentage. Platinum, of course, being the best, covering 90%, gold 80, silver 70. But with this family, because they were lower income and $35,000 was their adjusted gross income, and so they were able to obtain the enhanced plan, which is excellent coverage.
Wow, that's just crazy to me. And I think that people out there think that the only way they can get it is through the internet. So
Right.
how does this come about?
Well, here's the thing that I find is just imperative that people know. Contact an agent. Contact your insurance agent. Make sure they're certified to sell within the exchange, and ask for a quote. It doesn't hurt you to take 5-10 minutes out of your time to obtain a quote and find out if it's affordable for you. And I think most instances you're going to find it is affordable.
So they can call you locally.
They can call me locally. It's 855 here to help.
855 here to help.
Try to make it easy.
That's awesome. Now you're local.
I'm local, yes.
Now I see you have an Oakhurst
Yes.
address, but you come to
That's correct.
Fresno all the time,
I come to
right?
Fresno, and I'm in Southern California a lot as well too. I'm a Cali girl. I'm a native, so.
So now when people are signing up, do they need down payment? Do they need
No payment is taken up front. Basically, the questions I'm going to ask you are your date of birth, your zip code, and what your adjusted gross income is.
And that's it.
That's it.
Really?
Because the premiums are based on, it's called your modified adjusted gross income, but it's very similar to the adjusted gross income that most folks are familiar with. The other thing too that is new is we are actually able to sign Californians up for Medi-Cal. So Medi-Cal's expanded, it's gotten larger, and so many will be falling within those ranges if they're low income.
And that falls underneath the Obamacare
Yes,
thing,
it
right?
does. It does.
And so we have till March 31st now to
Right.
sign up.
Without penalty, yeah.
So you're inviting everybody at home to call you first
855 here to help.
and
You
see if
gotcha.
you can't save them some money?
Exactly.
Is there a chance that if they went on the Obamacare website or through their phone number that they wouldn't get the same deal?
No.
Everybody gets the same deal.
Everybody gets the same deal. Because here we have Covered California in California. So that's our marketplace. And so that's basically where all of our prices are determined. It's through our Department of Insurance.
Now, is there a certain level of insurance that you're supposed to have, or can you just get very basic insurance to qualify for the not getting the fine?
Well, there is what's considered credible coverage, and there is a baseline for that. And that's where a lot of people are getting cancellation notices because their previous coverage did not go under that credible coverage. Either it didn't have the prescription drug coverage that was necessary or required, or maybe the providers, there were different benefits that you must have. So that's where all of this, cancellations are coming from, and why there's so much hype on air right now as far as the cancellations.
I predicted that there was going to be a big problem with Obamacare before this ever started. Besides the website fiasco,
right?
Was this just set up to be a problem?
Well, it's a huge undertaking, and we all know what happens when the government gets involved in anything. We have issues. So, I think with California, I've been following it right along, been to the town hall meetings, and I think California's done a pretty good job getting things set up. We can get online through the Covered California site. I have my website, which is California Coverages, cacoverages.com, and you can obtain a quote right there on my site. So there's a lot of things here in California where we're a little bit ahead of the curve as far as the rest of the states go.
Okay. In the end, when all the dust is settled, will Obamacare be a good thing for the American people?
I honestly cannot say that. I don't know what's going to happen when it rolls out. We know that right now, knowledge that I have, Blue Shield has decreased its provider network by 50%, 30% hospitals, yet Kaiser's remain the same. But Kaiser's an HMO, so it's
tricky.
It is, and it had a head start on everyone. So, it's going to be interesting to see how this rolls out and whether folks are going to be able to get into their physicians, which physicians are going to sign up to be a part of it. So it's going to be interesting.
I predict a further mess going forward.
I do too.
What's the biggest question that you get right up front from people?
If I have coverages through my employer, will my dependents be able to go through the exchange? The answer is no. If your company offers coverage for you, even if they don't pay for your dependents, you still cannot put your dependents through the exchange. They cannot receive a tax credit.
I don't get it. Simplify that for me.
Okay, well, for instance, my husband's employer, they pay 100% for him, but they don't pay for myself and my daughter. Okay? Through his company, we're going to pay around $355.
Per month?
Per month, okay? If we were not included, if they'd never offered any coverage for my daughter or myself, we would be able to go into the exchange. But because it's offered, we cannot accept or go into the exchange, which would only run us $56 a month.
Wow.
So there's some companies that are allowing it. Has nothing to do with the Affordable Care Act. This is the individual insurance companies who aren't set up for it right now. There's some that will allow employers to opt out of offering coverage for dependents, and others, some of the big ones, I can't mention their names, but they are not set up for it.
All right. Well, if people have questions about the Affordable Care Act, can they call you?
They can call me.
What's your number?
855 here to help, or 559-492-6680, and that reaches me anywhere I'm at.
Awesome. Joy, thanks for coming around. Would you come back later on and keep people abreast as to what's going on with the Obamacare?
Happy to. That and Medicare. Anyone with the Medicare Advantage needs to get a review this year. They must do it. Okay. Out-of-pockets are double.
That's our next subject when you come back right there. Okay, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to close out the show with more Glenn Delpit. Stick around.